We got the story from the Wall Street Journal. Hunter Biden's guilty verdict. The president's son faces the consequences of unlawful acts. And the question is this legitimate? Will this affect Joe Biden's polling? And how much do people really care? Well, it is big news because I believe, is this the first time a family member of a president has been
It's the first time the child of a sitting president has gone before a criminal court and been convicted.
Wow. Why? Like, what is the reason, the real reason? So you've got many people on the right arguing this is a distraction. Joe Biden is sacrificing his son for optics to make it look like they're not biased. Because certainly as the head of the executive branch, he could tell his DOJ, don't go that direction, and they wouldn't. I suppose the issue then is there's concern that appears that the system is biased. So Joe Biden says, okay, Hunter, you've been a thorn in my side for too long. You're going to prison.
It's possible. He has another case. Hunter Biden has another case coming up in California. He's got tax evasion charges there. And that case goes forward in September, I believe. So there is a level of like he may be being sacrificed. On the other hand, maybe they thought by getting this out of the way, it would sort of help him in other cases. Maybe they could skirt some other stuff on the rug. If you guys remember his plea deal, that was the big part of it, just trying to make it as easy for Hunter Biden, who's now facing basically 25 years in prison and like a $750,000 fine.
Yeah.
Contrast that with Trump, who's facing up to 4 years in prison.
I think it was 25 years per charge, and he's got three charges.
It's not per charge.
It's
2 charges have maximum sentence of 10 years each, and 1 charge is a 5-year maximum. So up to 25 years in prison.
I suppose the root question is, should crackheads be allowed to own guns? I say yes.
I mean, if they're not on crack and they're not wielding it at the same moment, if you're on crack wielding a gun, that's
presented by his attorney Abe Lowell was basically like, well, he wasn't currently on crack at that moment, so it seems fine.
No. But that's about lying on the ATF form. So basically what Hunter Biden was charged with is that you get this federal background check form, and Democrats are all about their background checks.
Takes forever.
It takes like 15 minutes.
The form. Yeah. Well, it took me with Daniel Turner as a name. It took me almost an hour waiting for the call back to say, all right, you're good.
Oh, well, to be fair, my first gun purchase took 5 days. Or it took 3 days, the maximum wait. They basically just didn't process it, and then the law releases it, and you can buy your gun. But there's a question on it saying that they ask you on the form, are you a user of an illicit or controlled substance? And Hunter Biden said no. But he was. We all know that he was. My thing is kind of like, I agree. A lot of people have pointed out, and these are like hardcore Trump supporters who have every reason to just say lock all the Bidens up, have outright said this violates the Fifth Amendment, that this is unconstitutional. And that's actually what the defense argued, because it forces an individual to self-incriminate. This case with Hunter Biden, if they're going to appeal this, it's a federal case. If this ends up before the Supreme Court, thanks to Hunter Biden, could overturn federal background checks.
Not the figurehead the Second Amendment movement thought they needed.
I'll take it.
As his father is in Atlanta talking about gun control and that awful statistic, which is a flat out lie, that more children die from guns than cancer and car accidents combined, but they define children up until 21 years of age. So, yeah, it's kind of ironic that this is happening all on the exact same day. And no one at the White House pulled the plug and said, maybe we shouldn't be talking about gun control right now.
I think we should see, as many conservative organizations and gun rights organizations file briefs on behalf of Hunter Biden for his defense, that, look, if you are on crack with a gun on your person, then that's like being behind the wheel of a car. Like, if there was a guy, for just hypothetically, was chewing on a speedball behind the wheel of an SUV, and the cops had to drag him out of the car, kicking and screaming, and then hold him on the ground, I mean, that's a guy who's committing very serious crimes, and resisting arrest and all that stuff. Very serious outcomes could come from something like that. Hunter Biden, if he was actively doing crack with the gun on him, I'd understand arresting him and saying, like, you are using a controlled substance while in possession of a weapon. That should be a specific crime. But I actually don't agree. If you're a gun owner and you don't have a gun on you, but your gun's like in your house somewhere and you're out gallivanting about on crack, I don't believe you should be charged with owning a gun for that reason. It seems kind of weird. You weren't wielding the gun while on crack. You're just doing crack somewhere else. If you get charged for doing crack, which is a felony, they can then, after you're convicted, say, and now as a felon, you relinquish your right to your guns. That I agree with. But I think this should be a major attack vector for 2A rights organizations because it puts Democrats in an awkward position. If all of the right wing and Republican and gun advocacy groups come out in defense of Hunter Biden, they're going to have to agree.